Now 16 minutes after the hour. There was wide-scale publicity. He was on the cover of Time, and Leonard Matlovich is best remembered for his successful court battle against the Air Force, which had him expelled for being a homosexual. But as Jed mentioned, he is now fighting a battle against AIDS. I spoke with Leonard Matlovich in Atlanta recently, and we talked about AIDS, but I started by asking him if his fight against the Air Force had made it easier for other homosexuals in the U.S. military.
Legally, no. Matter of fact, legally now things are probably harder now, because when I was in the military it said that under no circumstance can a homosexual serve in the military, but then in parentheses it said, but under the most extraordinary circumstance they can. So now they've dropped that extraordinary circumstance. So now they simply can't serve. But what has happened because of the educational process, a lot of squadron commanders, a lot of company commanders who are the 60th generation college graduate simply ignore the law. If they have an outstanding individual that the military has spent tens of thousands of dollars in education on, and this person is a positive, hard-working individual, they just simply ignore the law.
When somebody calls you and says, I'm a sergeant, I'm a private, I'm a whatever, and I'm homosexual, what should I do? What do you tell them?
Well, I ask them a number of questions. I say, you know, first of all, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay in the military? And if they say, I want to stay in the military, then I say, keep quiet, because you aren't going to stay in if you want to stay in. I say, if you want to get out and you want to make a case of it, make a case. Stand up and say, I'm gay and I want to stay in.
Let me go back to your case. You wanted to stay in?
I wanted to stay. I really wanted to stay in, but I couldn't live with my conscience. I was caught between the devil and the deep blue sea.
What's your feelings now, 12 years down the pike, about the military?
Well, I will always have a fond place in my heart for the military. I grew up in it. You know, it's my hometown. They need to be educated. They need to change for lesbians and gays, because we are American citizens. We pay taxes. We are moral, good people who contribute to society to make society a better place. And they've got to change their policy.
Of course, in a lot of people, you're committing a sin against God.
Well, I usually say to people when they say that to me is, my God's a very, very loving God. And I think we live in a very crazy, mixed-up world. That when I was in the military, they gave me a medal for killing 2 men and a discharge for loving 1. And I just think we live in such a crazy mix. The only crime I have ever committed is a crime of love and no other crime. And if that's a crime against humanity, let me commit more crimes against humanity.
When did you find out you had AIDS?
Well, I had a chest cold. And I went to the hospital and to get medicine for a chest cold, and the doctor said to me, oh, guess what? This is not a chest cold. You have AIDS.
When he told you, were you surprised?
Shocked, but not surprised, because it's something as a gay man I have been dealing with for the last 5 years. You're wondering, you know, when is my turn? My turn came.
How are you fighting it?
I'm on AZT. It's expensive. It's not costing me anything because I just happen to have the right medical insurance. But God, I feel sorry for people out there that don't.
What's AZT cost in dollar figures?
Roughly $1,200 a month.
And what do you get for $1,200?
You get these little pills here.
And that's it?
That's it. $1,200 a month.
Helping?
For me it is. I don't have endurance. I can't endure. But it's a lot better than before AZT. I mean, I could tell, within 2 weeks, I could tell a difference. The drug does work.
Is there a political intolerance that leads to underfunding of AIDS research? A lot of gays say, you're consigning us to death, you're writing us off, you are whatever.
Well, you know, it's strange to me that 6 years now into the AIDS crisis, that our president, who I voted for twice as a conservative, who our president has finally uttered the words AIDS. I believe it parallels the black problem of drug use. There was no drug problem in America until it left the black ghettos and it went into Main Street, middle-class white America. There was no AIDS problem in America. You know, if the 3 monkeys, you see no evil. If you don't see it, it's not there. As long as it was a gay male disease and a drug user's disease, it's not a problem in America. But now it's out of there, and it's moving into the straight community, and it's a problem, and you see where they're beginning to see it as a problem. I think it's criminal that it's taken this long for this government to face up to the AIDS crisis.
Well, it's still a hell of a personal price you pay.
My entire life I've always wanted to lead a parade. This is not the parade I want to lead, believe me. but I have it. I don't know how long I have to live. I could die tomorrow. Tomorrow they may find the cure. But what I'm promising you is for whatever amount of time I have left, I'm going to make the most of it.
Oh.
He is a remarkable individual, and there are people you meet as a reporter that you come to care about, and he's one of them. He is a very straightforward, very honest, and very patriotic guy who has fought a lot of battles, and this one, eventually, I guess he'll lose. But
He
he'll
has
fight
great
it.
spirit,
He'll
though.
fight it. Leonard Matlovich, former Sergeant Leonard Matlovich. We'll be back after this.